All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. This is Daniel the Adjuster coming back to you with another quick tip for you as an adjuster. Now, stick around. We got some really exciting stuff coming up. We've got 3 incredible ways to get you some work during, guess what's coming up? Hail season. So stick around. We're going to talk about that. 3 ways to get deployed for hail season. And stick around. I got a bonus coming up at the end. So we'll be right back. All right, I was wanting to tell you guys about 3 potential ways to get deployed during hail season. So let's talk about number 1. Now, do remember that hail season has just begun. I don't know if you guys have watched over the news lately, but Colorado, Oklahoma, and northern Texas, Abilene area just got hit with a killer hailstorm. Now, that damage was not significant enough to make a huge impact upon us as catastrophe adjusters, but it was certainly a great opportunity for your locals there in Texas. So let's get started. First opportunity for hail season is desk adjusting. Now you're wondering, what in the world does desk adjusting have to do with hail season? Well, think about it. The opportunity for desk adjusting can be for property damage, which would be hail damage to a house, but the primary damage that I have seen desk adjusting picks up right around the springtime is for auto damage. Now, for you that have just started as an adjuster and you're like, well, how in the world do I break in? Great opportunity. Guys, State Farm has tons of openings for hail damaged vehicles. You have to remember that cars get damaged far more than houses do. And then the fact is that everybody has 2, some potentially have 3, whereas most people only have 1 house. Maybe they're even renting, and it's not part of their property damage. So think about auto as being about 2 to 3 times the amount of damage that homes could potentially be damaged. So, great opportunity for you as an adjuster to get deployed doing auto damage. Now, the insurance companies that are handling that, things that I would want you to get certified in would be State Farm, first of all. They have a certification process for auto and property, which is all part of getting your alias, is what is basically your code to allow you to work for State Farm. So you want to definitely find a firm that's teaching that State Farm certification. You can't get it when you go to State Farm, so you've got to have it beforehand. A lot of times you've got to go through either a firm or some other type of training. Pilot does some great certifications online for it. You want to look into that, so Pilot Catastrophe. Now, another insurance company is Liberty Mutual. They have a great inside desk adjuster possibility as well. That's just a hit and miss of whether you get a good manager or not. So I've heard some good and bad about that, but also a great opportunity to start out there. Progressive, which is ASI, another great opportunity for desk adjusting. But you've got to get on the firms like Alacrity, Crawford, Eberls, Renfro. There's lots of places like that offer just to get into those rosters that offer the help that you need. But those firms are the ones that you want to get listed on and call in order to get these deployments. Now, the great opportunity with getting your first deployment with auto is that it potentially could open up an opportunity for you to get CAT adjusting work in the auto department side, or potentially even move over into the property side. So once you have that alias from State Farm, it just really opens up the doors for other work in property. So definitely take the opportunity in auto. There's some ECTA that's going on right now. ECTA, which is basically a type of handling adjuster for State Farm. It's kind of like the basics of the basics, but that's a great opportunity to get your foot in the door as well. They also do general liability for auto. They do total loss for auto. And you can also get in the medical side of auto and liability side, which is basically determining who's at fault for car wrecks. So great opportunity there for you to get into State Farm. Now, I mentioned a little bit about cat adjusting, but that's the number 2 opportunity for you to get deployed here in the next 3 months. Cat adjusting for hail work is very common. Hail does an amazing amount of damage to a large area when it hits. And so the local adjusters cannot handle that damage in order to be able to handle it properly, so they have to bring in cat adjusters. Great states to think and watch through are like Colorado, Texas, Alabama, Indiana has some great hail. These are all the springtime hail, and then when you move into the summer, which is moving more into further into the spring, then you've got your Georgias, Carolinas. Those are going to be areas that are going to pick up. A little bit in Tennessee, but not a whole lot. Kentucky does get some as well. But really the springtime is when that cold air mass and that hot air mass is colliding, and it's going to create this amazing hail scenario. So to be ready for cat adjusting, you definitely want to have your licenses ready. You want to make sure that you're up to date on your training. No point trying to get deployed to these cat events if you're not ready. So take the springtime, get your licenses, get your continuing education, get your certifications done so you're ready. It's not the time to do it in the summertime, it's time to do it now while things are slow. Also get your cat bucket ready. I know those that have not been on deployment don't know what a cat bucket is, but typically what I do is I take a big tub and a big blue bin, and I basically put in everything that I could potentially need on a catastrophe event. That comes from Fix-A-Flat to extra chalk, extra cougar paw pads, pens and pencils, battery packs, extra wires for my phone for charging, maybe even an extra power pack there for if I can't get around to a power scenario. Goodness, I mean, there's just endless things that go into that. And a good thing for you also to do is to set up a packing list for yourself, clothing-wise, personal-wise, and then your cat bucket-wise, batteries, all sorts of things like that. Things that you would want to take with you. Think about everything that you would ever take on a catastrophe bucket, catastrophe event, and then put it into this bucket, or create that list so that you quickly can put together that bucket. My recommendation is don't wait until the event happens. I've had calls where they've called me and said, "Can you be here tomorrow?" So it's not time to start packing a bucket when they're asking you to be there tomorrow. So keep that in mind. Make sure that all your maintenance is done on your vehicle. Any expired, potentially license tags or inspections that need to be done, those are not the time to do those in the summer. It's time to get them done in the spring. Even if they expire in the summer, go ahead and renew them in the spring so that they'll always come due in the spring again. You might lose a few months, but go ahead and get it done so that your expiries happen in the spring, not the summer. All right, number 3 way to get deployed is a daily adjuster. Now, daily adjuster is going to be the last one, the last possibility for you to get deployed. Now, daily adjusters require someone to have a lot of experience, preferably about 3 years experience either in the field, as a cat adjuster, or as desk adjuster experience. Daily adjuster is kind of like the cream of the crop, end of the line, after you've proven yourself to be a good estimate writer. Now, one of the things you want to make sure you do is get yourself listed on these firms. Rosters is what they're called, and you've got to get listed on those. So if you're a daily adjuster and you're not working, then you've got to get yourself on more of those rosters. There are hundreds and hundreds of adjuster firms. And the best thing that I did when I first got started is I got on about 40 of them. Now, I'm not working for hardly any of those anymore, but what I did is at the time that I needed the work, I might have been doing 2 or 3 claims with this one and 1 claim with that one, and it was really difficult when I first got started. But what I ended up doing is I found the ones that I wanted to work for based on the management, based on their fee schedule, based on how their file reviewers were, and I ended up letting the ones that weren't so good go over a period of time. So now I've been able to tweak that list down to just 2 or 3, and it keeps me happy. I'm very happy with the people I work for, and I have no need to look for more work. And then, especially for daily adjusters, if you're not familiar with things, you want to continue getting trained. You've got continuing education that helps you learn things. You also want to be making sure you go into the other carrier certifications, like USAA has a great certification. Level 1 and 2 Xactimate, if you haven't got that, definitely want to get that. That'll help you get deployed. Steep and tall training. Even if you wanted to go the real ridiculous way, you could do a HAG certification, which is HAAG. I don't recommend it because it's very expensive to keep up. But if you're trying to get work, maybe you keep it current while you're trying to get work and then let it fall out later because it's just too expensive to keep up. All right, guys, and here's the bonus. I know it's not a tremendous bonus, but it's real important. If you are not getting work and you're wondering how you can find work, your resume has got to look good. Guys, my resume is absolutely spot on. Everything that I've done, I wrote things down that even if I only did them for a short period of time, they're on my resume. My resume is 3 pages long. I put every experience that I have, every training that I've had, every continuing education I've ever taken, it's all on there. And it shows wonderful. So for somebody to read that resume and look to see if I'm qualified, I've got tons of information there for them to never second guess that I'm the right guy for the job. So if you don't have a great resume, take some time, make it right. Look online, take some examples, look what other people are posting, and then build your resume to make you look fantastic. It will help you in the long run. Well, this is Daniel the Adjuster with the 3 quick tips to help you get deployed for this hail season that's coming up. And let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Leave them in the comments, watch my other videos, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.